Oh man, yep, this one hits me the hardest. Sadly, Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, has passed away. Peter Cullen, who you probably know as Optimus Prime from Transformers, whether it's the movies or the cartoon, and of course countless other projects from Invincible to so many voice acting gigs. We could be here literally talking about hundreds of projects, has sadly passed away at the age of 85. And this one hits so hard to me, man. Like literally when I was a child, it was a couple of cartoons, it was He-Man, it was Ninja Turtles, and it was Transformers. And Transformers was this huge part of my childhood, especially as I've talked about it before, being a child during war and a whole genocide that was happening in like
Transform and roll out.
In the 80s knows Optimus Prime's iconic catchphrase, but few know the voice behind the bot. That's Peter Cullen, the longtime voice actor for Optimus Prime, and he's passed away. Cullen voiced many memorable characters over his long career, like the stuffed gray donkey Eeyore or the adventure-loving Australian mouse Monty from Disney's Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. He returned as the leader of the Autobots for Michael Bay's live-action Transformers movie series nearly 2 decades ago. Peter Cullen was 80.
No freaking way. No.
First you take Dolly Parton, then you take Tim Curry, and now what do you mean? Peter Cullen's gone! At 85 years old, the legendary voice actor, Peter Cullen, has passed away. Peter Cullen was without a doubt one of the biggest titans the voice acting industry had ever seen, and one of the most iconic voices to ever step foot in a booth and get behind a microphone. Some of Peter's most memorable character roles include the original voice of Monterey Jack from Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. He was also known as the voice of Eeyore from Disney's Winnie the Pooh. A lesser known fact about Peter Cullen, but one of my absolute favorites, is if you've ever seen the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Peter Cullen was the mastermind behind all of the Predator sounds that you hear in the movie. You don't want to hear that clicking sound when you're out in the jungle. But without a doubt, what Peter Cullen will forever be remembered for most is being the iconic voice of Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots in the Transformers franchise, spanning from the original debut of the animated show in the 80s to bringing him to life in live action in the 2000s. One of my absolute favorite stories from Peter Cullen is how he came up with the voice for Optimus Prime when he was going in for the audition. And I'll let Peter tell you that story now.
Voiced Prime for the very first time. I was living with my brother Larry, who was a Marine, and I said, I'm going to an audition. I'm going to be a truck. And he started to laugh. He said, a truck? And I said, this is a leader. This is a hero. And his demeanor just changed. He just went, well, Peter, if you're going to be a leader, be strong enough to be gentle. And I got to the audition and I said, my name is Optimus Prime from the planet Cybertron. I had no doubt that this is what a hero should sound like. And I was convinced I was going to get that role.
Rest in peace, Peter Cullen. You will be missed, and you may...
First Dolly Parton, now Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen, the legendary voice behind Optimus Prime, just passed the 85, and I'm not gonna lie, this one hurts. Because there's some voices in entertainment that simply can't be replaced, and Peter Cullen is one of them because Peter Cullen is Optimus Prime. For over 40 years, that voice meant something. It wasn't just a deep voice. When Optimus spoke, you believed him, and there's actually a reason for that. Before Peter auditioned for Transformers, his older brother Larry, a Marine veteran, gave him advice on how a real hero should sound. He said, don't play some Hollywood tough guy. A real hero doesn't need to scream to prove he's strong. He should be strong enough to be gentle. Peter took that philosophy into the audition, based Optimus on his brother, and created one of the most recognizable voices in entertainment history. To this day, when you hear that voice, you know exactly who it is. If you watched Invincible, Peter voiced Thetis, the leader of the coalition of planets, and the second that man started talking, everyone knew that's Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen's voice itself had become synonymous with leadership. From the cartoon in 1984 to the Transformers movies, games, and shows, all the way to Invincible in 2026. Generations of people heard that voice and knew exactly what it represented: strength.
I'm going to tell you this, honestly, because I love you guys and girls. I hope that I'm around for a long time to do more features, and because I have it in me, and I don't want to not do it. I really want to do it. So it gives me a real incentive to be with you guys. Yeah, you warm my heart, and I think you're the greatest group of people